welcome to Crystal's Crochet Cubbyhole and to Tutorial Tuesday. Today we are going to learn the crochet stitch ridges with half double crochets. This is a pretty simple pattern and stitch to learn. So I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. You will of course need a pair of scissors to cut your ends, a needle for sewing in those ends, a crochet hook, and I'm using a 6mm crochet hook, and your 100% cotton yarn or whatever yarn you choose to use. And again, these crochet stitches can be used for not just washcloths but blankets and just all kinds of crochet stuff. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze, sorry. So let's see what my color yarn is. Pisca excuse me. It doesn't say, or does it? Desert Bloom is the color. So it's greens and like a yellow, and then there's a clay color, pinky color there. So let's get started. And when you do this stitch, any stitch count will work for your beginning chain. So I'm going to crochet 30 chains. We'll do 30 chains in my beginning chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I've done 30 chains. So your beginning chain can be any stitch count. So I'm doing 30 plus a chain 2 beginning chain. So 1, 2. So now to start our first row, we're going to do a half double crochet in every stitch across, and we will start in the 3rd chain from the hook because the first 2 is our beginning chain. So the 3rd chain from the hook, you wrap your yarn, go into the 3rd chain, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, wrap your yarn and pull through all 3. That is a half double crochet, and continue to do a half double crochet all the way across in every chain across until you get to the end of the row, and I will meet you back near the end of my chain. Okay, I'm coming up on the end of my row, so I'm doing a half double crochet in every chain across for the 30 chains that I chained. So if you're counting your stitches as you're going across, you should have 30 half double crochets in every stitch across. Now I'm at the end and I just did the last half double crochet. So now I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. Now we are going to create the ridges. So to do our half double crochets on this row, you will wrap your yarn, and there is your stitch. See right there? Well, you go over, turn it sideways, and there's this third diagonal stitch right there. See? You're going to go up and under that stitch, wrap your yarn and pull up a loop, and go ahead and do your half double crochet. Now again, let me see if I can get real close and stay in the camera. Let's see. Not that way. Okay. Okay. We're going to wrap our yarn, look for our next, there's our top. So this stitch right here on the side, that piece right there, see? And we're going to wrap our yarn, pull up a loop, and finish our half double crochet. So we're going across, and you kind of pull it apart. You can see that loop right there. It's underneath the top front loop of your stitch. Wrap your yarn, go up from the bottom through that loop, and do a half double crochet. Wrap your yarn, go up through the bottom, half double crochet, and that is creating this ridge right here on the other side. So let me back up, and you will do that all the way across until you get to the end. And again, wrap your yarn, and you can see that diagonal, you know, that loop going across there underneath your stitch. There's your stitch. That loop, you're going to go up from the bottom through it, pull your yarn through, and do a half double crochet. And you do that all the way across in every stitch underneath that front part of your stitch. There's the front part of your stitch. This next one underneath it, you're going to go up through it and wrap your yarn. Whoops, I forgot to wrap my yarn for my half double crochet. Go up through it, wrap your yarn, 3 loops on your hook, pull through all 3. Again, you go up through this one, wrap your yarn, pull through all 3. So underneath the front loop of your stitch from, your top stitch there. Let me turn it sideways again. Up on the top, you got your stitches going across. See your little V's? Well, if you lay it sideways, there's a second diagonal stitch underneath that top one. So you're going to go up from the bottom through that stitch, wrap your yarn and pull through. Now do a half double crochet all the way across in each of those that second stitch down all the way across, and I will meet you when I get toward the end. Okay, I'm getting close to the end, so I'll go ahead and I'm wrapping my yarn going up from the bottom through that second loop down and wrapping my yarn, pulling through. I got 3 loops on the hook, pull through and do my half double crochet. So again, wrapping your yarn going into that second stitch down, that second line there. And I hope you all are understanding what I'm saying and what I mean. You've got your V stitch, your stitch that looks like a V. Down on the side of it there is a second stitch. I guess it's like the third stitch or whatever some people call it. You're going up from the bottom, up through that, wrapping your yarn, and then finishing off your half double crochet. And there it is again. Oops, didn't mean to jar the camera. And then there's this. The last one's a little hard because it's starting to roll, to the side. So there's your stitch. So you need to find this one right here, and then there's your chain 2. You wrap your yarn, pull through all 3. That's the last stitch. You're going to chain 2 and turn your work. Now again, this is what you're repeating every row from here on out. You'll do a half double crochet into that second stitch right there underneath the top. That's the front loop or front stitch of your, see, here's your stitch. Let's do it this way. There's your stitch. You've got, there's the back loop and the front loop. Underneath that front loop of that stitch is this third loop right here. So we're going to wrap our yarn, go up from the bottom, wrap your yarn, pull through, and complete your half double crochet. And you will do that all the way across until you get to the end of the row, and you see our little ridge that's starting. Here we got one ridge going on. And so continue on doing a half double crochet in that second loop down. So you're doing a half double crochet in that second loop down from the top all the way across. And I will pause the camera and I'll meet you toward the end. Okay, I'm coming up on the end. And again, if you have to and need to, if you'll pull it apart a little bit and it makes those stitches lay down better, that second stitch down, second loop down, you're going to half double crochet through it, coming from the bottom. Up from the bottom, do a half double crochet. Up from the bottom, half double crochet. And you can always, if you turn your work over, you're going to see that row laying down. So here's our last one. And see, by the time you get to the end, that's really laying down. So it's this one right here. I'm going to do a half double crochet, and then I will chain 2 and turn my work. And that's going to be what you repeat all the way across. See, here's a ridge this way, and on this side we have 2 ridges. There's this one and this one we just did, and they'll show more pronounced as we go along. You'll be able to see them. So continue doing that until you get this the length that you want your washcloth to be. You'll chain 2 and turn your work. Then you'll do a half double crochet in that second loop down from the top, and you can pull out to see, and it kind of straightens it out. See, that second loop down from the top, you do a half double crochet in that loop coming up from the bottom. Do it all the way across, then you will chain 2, turn your work, and keep doing that till you get to the length you want. I will pause the video and be back with our finished product, and we can see what our washcloth looks like. Okay, we are back, and here's what our washcloth looks like finished. See all our ridges and our half double crochets. Now let me get a little closer. That is really nice. It's got a nice texture. You could always, again, you could do a border on these if you want. And it's about it's the same on both sides. That is really nice. Let's fold it up and let me bring it closer so you can see that pattern. So there's your half double crochets and your ridges. That is nice. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. I appreciate you guys. I love you. And we will talk to you later in Crystal's Crochet Cubbyhole. Bye for now.